Guys, we are going to go over the warm-up together. So hopefully you have given these a try on your own, and I just want to go through the answers. As I go through them, if you got them right, put a smiley face or something next to them, and if you got them wrong, go ahead and put the correct answer. So hopefully this first one is so easy. Anything to the power of 0 equals 1, right? No work to do there. 4 to the 5th power means 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, but in terms of figuring out what it equals, I'm just going to look at my chart. 4 to the 5th power, it's right here, 1024. And go ahead and put like a little happy face next to it if you got it right. Here we get into the roots. This stuff is a little bit harder. So, and unfortunately, this one I know isn't even on your chart, but 144 to the 1/2 power is the same thing as the square root of 144. And remember, there's a little invisible 2 there. And that means what number to the second power equals 144. So some of you may know this, some of you may not. I don't want you using a calculator for this, but the answer here is 12. 12 times 12 is 144, and it's okay if you didn't know that one. So now we get into some harder stuff because this is order of operations. So with order of operations, you can look at the front of the room. There's the poster. First step is always grouping. There's no grouping here. So the second step is exponents and roots, which means we have to deal with this exponent first before we multiply. So 64 to the 1/3 power means the third root of 64. And just to kind of pull this out, what that means is what number to the third power equals 64. And so I'm just going to go to my chart and look that up. And it's right here. 4 to the third power is 64, which means this entire thing is 4, because 4 to the third power is 64. The 3 drops down, the times drops down, so we did the exponents. Now we're down to just multiplication. So the answer here is 12. Moving along, number 5. 9 to the third power, that means 9 times 9 times 9, but in terms of knowing the answer, I would just look on my chart. 9 to the third power is 729. Four to the negative 1/2. So what we learned about negative exponents is that you take the fraction and you flip it and then make the exponent positive. So if I need a fraction, I can always drop a 1 under any number. So if I flip 4 over 1, it's going to become 1 over 4, and then that exponent becomes positive. Anything to the first power is just that thing. So 1/4 to the first power is just 1/4. A little tricky. Number 7, this is an order of operations problem. There are no parentheses, so my next step has to be exponents. 9 to the 1/2 power means the square root of 9. So what number times itself is 9? And the answer to that is 3. 9 to the 1/2 power is 3 because 3 squared is 9. So I'm going to drop everything else down. And now the trickiest thing, the thing that most people are going to mess up, is order of operations. In order of operations, after exponents and roots comes multiplication and division. And so we have to do that multiplication next. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. Last problem, 16 to the 1/4 power. That means the fourth root of 16, which means what number to the 4th power is 16? So I'm going to look on my chart. 2 to the 4th power is 16. It's right here, which means the question mark is 2. So this whole thing just equals 2. There's the warm-up. What I'd like everybody to do now is turn to the daily quiz part. And I want you to look at the seat number wherever you're sitting. So on the top here, I'm going to put the odd numbers 1, 3, and 5. So if you're sitting in seats 1, 3, or 5, you're going to write down these top problems. If you're sitting in seats 2, 4, or 6, you're going to copy these problems down here. Okay. So problem 1, if you're sitting in an odd seat, is going to be 5 to the 4th power. And if you're sitting in seats 2, 4, or 6, it would be 4 to the 5th power. So you'll go ahead and copy that down and then tell me what it equals. Again, odds, I want you to put 3 to the power of 0 up here, down here 9 to the power of 0. If you are in seats 1, 3, and 5, question number 3 is going to be 243 to the 1/5 power. And if you're in seats 2, 4, or 6, it's going to be 256 to the 1/4 power. And then if you're in seat 4, 2 plus 3 times 81 to the 1/2 power. And then down at the bottom, 5 plus 2 times 64 to the 1/2 power. So the top, those are problems 1, 2, 3, 4 if you're in an odd numbered seat. The bottom, problems 1, 2, 3, 4 if you're in an even numbered seat. As soon as you're done with this, go ahead and rip this page off. Make sure your name is on both sides, please, and then you can go ahead and put this in the inbox.